Hey friends, welcome back to some phonics review with Mrs. Conley. Like our lessons last week, we are just reviewing all of the concepts, reading and writing concepts we've learned all year long in first grade, and that helps us read words and then write words on our own. So last week we talked about suffixes and that silent E guy, remember him? We might talk about him a little bit today too, okay? We're going to review syllables today, okay? A syllable is a part of a word. And then when we talk about a part of a word, it's just when we have one push of breath when we say that word, okay? So for example, if I say the word napkin, napkin, if I try and break it apart to see how many syllables there are, napkin, oh, there's two, okay? So we're going to look at some different words, okay, and talk about how we're going to break those up into their syllables or their word parts, because there's specific ways we do that, okay? All right, so like we just did, okay, we're going to look at some of these words today. We have napkin, exhale, limit, clinic, sandbox, campfire. All right, did you repeat those with me? I hope so. Okay. All right, when we break apart the word napkin, right? Napkin. I'm going to break those apart. Oh, and they are two closed syllables, right? Those are the two parts, the two syllables for the word napkin, okay? All right, also, we have two closed syllables because there's two short vowel sounds in those, right? Okay, let's look at the next one. Exhale. Exhale. How do I want to break that one apart? Where do I hear the pause or that second part? Exhale. No, that wouldn't be right, would it? Exhale. No, Mrs. Conley. I'm going to break that apart with X and then hail. Exhale. Okay. Remember that X, that X, I don't need to put an S in there because that X makes that whole sound all by himself. X. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the word limit. Right here, limit. How am I going to put that one? How am I going to separate those two syllables? Limit or lim-it? Limit. I'm going to separate those right here. And friends, the reason we do this to practice is so when we hear that word, it's going to help us spell it. Okay, limit. I hear lim, and then it. I'm going to put them together. Two word parts, but it's still just one word. Okay. All right, what about the next one right here? Clinic. 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 No, Mrs. Conley, you're all saying it's clinic. Clinic. Right? All right. Ooh, these two are, I want to talk about these a little bit after we separate these, okay? This first one, we have sandbox. 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 I'm going to separate my syllables just. So what do you notice there? There's two word parts, but there's also two words, two compound words in there, sand and box. Put them together and I make one word, sandbox, right? Do you have one in your backyard? Or do you go play one at the park? Sandbox. All right, what about campfire? Campfire. Oh, once again, I see two different words in there. Compound words. Camp, right? And then fire. So camp, like if I'm going to go camp somewhere, or fire, if I'm going to start a fire safely in a fireplace. But if I put both of those things, both those parts together, both those words, it now makes a compound word, makes one word, campfire. When I go camping, I make a fire. It's a campfire. All right. Okay, let's look at a few more. Okay, let's take a look and see how we're going to scoop those word parts together. Right, that's what I did on the previous words that we just did. Okay, so let's take a look at these words we have here. Okay, we have cobweb, inside, sunset, habit, and muffin. Hope you repeated those. Make sure you're saying those out loud. It's good practice so you know what we're working on. Okay, all right, let's take a look at cobweb. Another compound word where it's two actual words making one new word. Have cob, scooping that part, right? I scoop those parts to show the syllables and where they come together, or I could break them into their syllables or their parts. Web. Make that first one a little bigger. Cobweb, okay? Like cob, like a corn on the cob, or web, put them together, I've got a cobweb. All right, let's look at the next one. Inside, inside, right? Because when I actually say the word, I don't break it apart right away, right? I read it. Inside, inside. I am inside the house right now. But if I want to break it apart, if I wanted to see how I could read it and then spell it later all by myself, up, I've got in, inside. I'm going to scoop that next part. What kind of word is that? It's another compound word. It's got two words in it that makes one word. In and side. Inside. All right. What about the next one? Sunset. Where am I going to scoop that one? Suns and et? That wouldn't be right. How about sun set? Yep, I scooped those two words together. Those are my two syllables, my two word parts, and they made one new word. All right, what about habit? Habit. Have it. What do you think? Have it. See how I scoop those two word parts together? And then when I practice that, it kind of helps me read them and spell them later on. All right, this last one, muffin, muffin. First of all, I noticed that I've got a bonus letter here. So I'm probably going to scoop it all the way to the bonus letter, right? Because it would be muffin. That'd be weird. Muffin. Muffin. Okay. Now, of course, friends, boys and girls, when we do this work here, it's just practice word work where we're really trying to break apart words so we can read them and spell them and really understand those sounds. Now, when you're writing your own words or your sentences or you're writing a story, are you going to scoop up your syllables? Are you going to mark up your bonus words? No, we don't do that. We just do that as practice to show that we understand some of those concepts. Okay? All right, let's take a look at trick words for this week. Okay? Last week we worked on, do you remember what the trick words were last week? One was, remember, I did something, right? I called Mrs. Wickham, right? So called was one of our trick words. Do you remember the other one? Water, right? Water. And you were supposed to send me sentences using those trick words to show me if you could put them in a sentence. Okay, so I hope you did that. If not, try and do it this week, okay? All right, if you have your whiteboard or something to write with, let's try these trick words, okay? All right, the first one, okay, day, day. Can you write that one? Let's see how you do. Day. How'd you do? Day, D-A-Y. I hope that D's facing the right way. Otherwise it's bay, and that's just not the right word. It's not what we're using. We're using D, day. So make sure when you're practicing that really good handwriting that your D is facing the right way. Okay? All right, the next one, May. We're in the month of May. May. However, This is just the word May. It's not the month of May, because the month of May would have a capital M. We're just writing the regular word May. So it's going to be a lowercase m. And if I already saw how I spelled day, then I should be able to spell May, right? They have that same glued sound, right? Or that same vowel team, that A and Y together. Okay, all right. Next one, you ready? Let's see if you can do it. Your next one is way, way. I bet you got this one super easy. Lowercase letters, check. Best handwriting, check. Hope so. All right, so we have day, May, and way. All right. So practice those this week. Okay. When we meet next time, we'll put them in a sentence. We'll see if we can build a sentence using all 3 words. You think about yours, and we'll see if we come up with something about the same. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Syllables, clapping out your word parts, scooping them up to practice that you know what those word parts are. All righty. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great day. I will see you next time.